Hello everyone. Today I'm in Washington DC and I'm going to try out a few of the city's best Italian sandwich shops. But what I have in mind is not just only the best shops, but two of the really historic and iconic Italian sandwich shops that Washington DC has to offer. And I'm excited. And the first place I'm at today is Mangialardo's in Capitol Hill. And I'm also going to go to a Litteri in the Union Market area later on. But right now I'm in Capitol Hill, and you can see over my shoulder, there it is behind the two trucks, Mangialardo's. Italian deli slash grocery. Well, it used to be a grocery store. It opened as a grocery store in the early 50s and began selling sandwiches in the late 60s. I think they stopped selling groceries in the late 90s and now is exclusively a sandwich shop. And it closes very early in the day. It closes around 3. Right now, I think the lunch rush has just begun. So let me get over there and get in line. Well, I went over to a nearby park to eat my sandwich. I got the signature sandwich there at Mangialardo's, which is the G-Man sub, or the G-Man sandwich. This is quite a hefty sandwich. It's named after, the common phrase G-Man, which means government man or government official, government agent. I think what they call FBI agents is G-men or G-man, because Mangialardo's clientele is mostly customers on lunch break, police officers from the DC Police Department, federal law enforcement agencies, FBI agents, things of that nature. That's the bulk of their clientele. They just pass through. Mangialardo's is roughly 10 or 12 blocks east of the U.S. Capitol, on a major road in Pennsylvania Avenue. It was quite busy when I was there. It was definitely at the height of the lunch rush. I wanted to get there earlier. I couldn't finagle it. But they were really efficient. The owner, Tony, was at the register, and his staff was efficiently taking orders and making sandwiches. What you have here are Italian cold cuts, Italian cured meats. I believe what you have here is provolone and fontina cheese, salami, mortadella. You've got some hot and sweet peppers, lettuce, tomato, olive oil dressing. Quite good, quite good. You get the choice of a hard or a soft roll, and I got the soft roll. I wanted to confirm that I had made the right choice, and the cashier said that she prefers the soft roll, so that's what I got. But you can really taste the dressing, which really kind of wraps around the meats. It really binds it together. And you got the sharpness of the the peppers. And you get the sweetness and the spiciness of it. Okay, I'm in front of Litteri, another iconic Italian sandwich shop in Washington, D.C. I'm in the Union Market neighborhood in Northeast. Litteri is really a throwback. I mean, it opened in 1926, and for most of its existence was a wholesaler of Italian food, groceries. This neighborhood was a wholesale market for decades until, well, basically for most of the 20th century, it was a wholesale district. It was called the Florida Avenue Market because Florida Avenue is a major thoroughfare nearby. And so recently, with the opening of the Union Market food court, this area has really turned into a restaurant neighborhood. And so, but Litteri, if I remember correctly, in about the late 80s, it stopped doing wholesale. You could go in there and shop for groceries like a little corner Italian market, and they started doing sandwiches. And since then, since the late 80s, it's really been known for its sandwiches. But it dates back to 1926. I haven't been here in a long, long time, so I don't really recall what it was like. This is my first visit, probably in probably over 20 years. So I'm eager to find out what the sandwiches are like here at Litteri. Okay, I'm at a table now in the Union Market area, about to eat my sandwich from Litteri, the classic Italian. They have a nice little seating area outside the food hall, which I'm taking advantage of. It's quite a hefty sandwich. I got the 12-inch, and it comes with salami, capicola, provolone cheese, something called prosciutini, which is a kind of salted, peppered ham, and some mortadella, kind of a fatty, cold cut. It's all pressed here together under a soft roll. It's got some peppers, onions, tomatoes. Ooh, it's quite a meaty bite there. All the different components kind of work together. Once you compress it into a sandwich under all that bread, it's just a quite meaty jab of flavor. I mean, you have the salty cured meats, you have the peppers doing their thing with the sharpness of their spiciness, the tartness of the tomatoes, the kind of saltiness of the cheese. Just as a comparison, the bread here is a little bit more firm than the soft roll at Mangialardo's, and the dressing is a little less pronounced, I think. But definitely classic all the way. I mean, look at this thing. Hefty, satisfying. So which one is better? Litteri or Mangialardo? I know people like to have some sort of definitive statement at the end to kind of summarize the food that I ate, but it's hard to do. But let me say this: I think I like the bread more at Mangelardo's, and the dressing more at Mangelardo's than I did at Litteri. But as a construction, as a entity, as a built food item, I think the sandwich was constructed better at Litteri. I mean, so which one's better? I don't know. Both were winners in my mind. You know, if you get a chance while you're in Washington D.C. And can catch Mangialardo's before 3, that would be a really nice treat for you to get a sandwich from such a classic place. And Litteri, I believe, closes at 6, so they're open a little bit later in the Union Market area. So that wraps it up for this episode. I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about the sandwiches I ate today, or about your experiences with Italian sandwich shops? I quite enjoyed it. I had a great day today, and I'll see you next time on my next food adventure. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.